Okay, let me make maybe one last video. I don't know. Um, so okay. So what happened to me? I did the biofeedback where they put the electrodes on your brain and they want the brain waves to go up and down really fast, and that's pretty much all the information you get, other than you know just focus on the computer screen, focus on the waves, and so quickly you find out that if you flex your muscles in any way, um, the brain waves will go up and down, which is what you want, for them to go up and down fast. But it will also read as beep beep beep. That's muscle tensing, muscle flexing, or whatever, right? So my method of just not knowing what I was doing, I guess, was to try to kind of just tense up as much as I could without it beeping, and the tensing up. Like when he said focus, I try to focus as hard as I could. I try to get inside of my own brain and squeeze it in attention, and that problem with the attention, not attention. It's basically like two opposites, right? Yeah, that's what I should have done, is just paid attention to stuff within my thinking, I guess, and not try to do some physical tensing thing. But anyways, I did do that. I did this physical trying to inner clench or whatever, and I created an inner clench of tension. And then within that inner clench tension, though, my thoughts are also, you get the feeling of that inner, I call it tenuption now. Tenuption. TNUPTION. I call that because it's tension up in your head. But so maybe I'll refer it to that. It's like this zone of tension into everything that you're doing, and with that tension that happens, it's almost like you're like I mind manipulated fear thoughts into it or something, maybe. But in any case, what happens is, so you have a somatic feel of your exterior. That somatic feel connects with your thoughts that are connected within the somatic feel. By somatic feel, that means emotional gut feelings type of thing. So that's what I mean by somatic feel. So you have that somatic feel, like a zone of feel, like a Tai Chi ball type of feel, like a gut feeling type of feel. So that's what you have with your thoughts thinking within all that realm, within the realm of all of that, right? And what happens is, when I did the inner clench and even tried to clench with my eyes hard as I could, I was able to take that somatic feeling, and that actually goes in to the inner clench, and your thoughts go into the inner clench. The somatic, so what you did have was somatic feelings. Now you don't have somatic feelings. The gut feelings or whatever, the things that roll with your emotions, like when you're talking with your hands and you got this somatic feeling within all of your thinking and stuff like that, that all goes away. And instead it stuffs into the inner tension, into the inner tension lock. And when you feel that zone of that inner tension zone, somatic feelings go into that, and once you feel that inner clench, it's like, like when if you get frightened, scared, or worried or something, and you really get sucked in hard, it's like you're using that type of emotion at the same time, and then the tension clicks in, And then the biggest problem, the biggest thing for keeping that clenched in is that you are like, no, I don't want to do this. And you like fear that feeling. And then within that fear of the feeling, you're trying to stop the feeling, but from within itself. And like all of your fears, all that fear of it, like goes in and creates the inner tension even harder in your face or whatever, wherever you're like fearing it, it creates it there. And then your whole body's tense too in it. But the thing is, but and then your thoughts get so shallow because they actually get stuck in connection with that tension. So then if you're like, it's like the idea is, oh, don't think about that. Well, the thing is, all of your thoughts go through that tension. And you're just perpetually stuck in it. It's like you get stuck in it and you're stuck in it for the rest of your life, potentially. Because also in that, when you are stuck in that inner tunnel of tension thing, you don't know what the other feeling was. Like, even though your whole life you weren't doing that inner clenched tension, your whole life you had a sense, your innate, just like all the animals and all the humans, they all, you develop where you have that innate sense of the exterior with your feelings, somatic feelings kind of flowing with that, and all the thoughts are just roaming along within all of that at the same time, type of thing. So you lose touch of that like pretty much immediately when the inner clench happens and all your thoughts get stuck into it and everything. And then it's like you get sucked inside of yourself into an inner clench. And in that state of mind, you're like perpetually stuck in it. And because all your thoughts are roaming through that tension, all the thoughts are just like stuck in it too, in the tension is painful. It's painful. It hurts like hell. It's not just like I feel a little bit of tension, but even though you can have that, you can have just degrees of it, and it's like, oh, no, I'm not fully escaped of it and everything. But just like how I said, not fully escaped, as if I need to take my tension. It's because I'm trying to escape it from within the tension itself. As long as you're feeling that tension, then you're not escaped from it. Escaped from it is just like totally not doing it, but instead of not doing it, you instead are feeling somatic feelings of the exterior environment. So instead of the inner clench feeling, you instead are feeling the somatic feelings, and this is totally not there. So it's a total switch into that of which you always were doing, whatever all the humans and animals are doing. That's what they're doing. Because when you get sucked into the inner clench, you totally instantly lose touch of, you're like, how do I not do this anymore? Because you totally lose touch of whatever that was that I was doing and what it even felt like or anything like that. You want whatever that was back. You have enough memories to know that that was good, and this sucked into my inner tension is bad, and you want to stop this and switch, but you're perpetually stuck trying to stop this, and that's not the way in which it gets stopped. Okay, so now the way it gets stopped is, to switch it back into the somatic feelings with, your gut feeling, having somatic feelings on everything, just like how I was explaining how everyone is and everything. That's what you like actually switch into. So you switch, so the tension stops. I mean, it is like it is a process of, yeah, it's because you're perpetually thinking about it, but at the same time you're so stuck in the concentration of the tension that just the feeling of it, and you're trying to stop the feeling of it while still feeling it. But if you're trying to stop it while still feeling it, that is so that's why I'm like there. So then there's no stopping it. You have to switch the feeling of that into the feeling of like this gut feeling, exterior feeling, that gut feeling, emotional gut feeling that is connected within the whole exterior environment. It's so connected, and so your concentration is so connected within that, and all the thoughts that also connect within that. It's so connected within that it is a total replacement of the concentrated feeling of the inner clench. So that's how you go. Like, I can go back and forth on it just through my own mind manipulation, because I know what that feeling is and how it works. But it is kind of scary in this, because it is such a huge different feeling in the way in which you flip it to not feeling it at all, and instead having your feelings on the somatic feelings, I was thinking about how my parents moved to Los Angeles, Marina Del Rey, beautiful spot of Los Angeles, back in the early 2000s, and how at that time I was stuck in the hell, but I was thinking, oh my God, I'm thinking about that, and how if you wanted to be an actor or whatever, you have to have your emotional feelings flowing with the exterior, you can't be inner clenched in the inner clenched tunnel, the tenuption, because in that state of mind, in that state of being, I mean, not only are the thoughts too slowed down and everything, but you can't mimic other people's feelings or emotions, because you don't have any feelings and emotions anymore. They're stuck inside of the tension, the biofeedback, neurofeedback, mind manipulation tension that you did. Can't believe how I got my life ruined so bad because of doing the neurofeedback wrong, and it being so unbelievably real, and how it's just like a piano falling on somebody's head type of never happens type of thing to anybody else, and it happened to me, and this has been oh my God, this was not meant to be my life. Thanks, Dr. Nash. Oh my God, unbelievable that this was possible, and I didn't know, just trying to make the waves go up and down real fast without it detecting me doing any actual, muscle flexing. Boy. I didn't know that was possible. Oh boy, it sure is. I switch back into it, back and forth. Just right now, even as I can talk. But anyways, I've gotten real good at being able to do the switch now, back and forth, and to the point where, I'm almost to the point where I can have it under complete control and be pretty confident in that. I'm pretty sure, pretty sure I got this. That's why just even talking about it and everything is definitely a risk, and it was more and more a risk, but it's like something that can be less of a risk, just because, yes, I can explain it and then start doing it, and then start, and then the process of the getting into it is super easy. It's super easy. I know the feeling. I know how, So the popping out of it after you start doing it, type of thing. Okay, type of thing. Okay, sensing the exterior. Okay, feeling within it, and then all the thoughts roaming within that kind of outside feeling sort of thing, in which your body is in the control within the feelings. It's flowing with your somatic feelings. Just your feelings, your thoughts. Basically your thought images are flowing with somatic feelings now, rather than even the thought images, as shallow as they are, get actually stuck into the inner clenched tension. So you would be trying, in that state of mind, you would try to feel emotion or something, but all that emotion would just increase the tension. It would be like I'm trying to get mad, but it would just go, the mad feeling, instead of flowing in a gut, emotional gut type of mad, and you're feeling, no, it goes into just harder into your face. When you do that mind manipulation, inner clenching gets stuck into it perpetually. So another thing too, the difference is so when I'm standing up and walking around, not in inner clenched tension, my innate self, it's just like I was saying, it's just like a side thought to be moving wherever I decide to move, or whatever action I make. It's just kind of like a side thought, and as you do a little quick thought about going over here, it's there's not a lot of thought to it, because your thoughts are mainly on everything else. It's such a nothingness, and then when you're stuck in the inner clench, it's totally different. I would be where I was trying to, because it was so hard to make the transition before. Even when what do you mean by before? I'm talking not that long ago before, versus, when I first was stuck in it, then of course it was impossible to figure out how to make the transition. I didn't even know what the fuck was happening, what the fuck I did to myself, type of thing. But anyways, so as far as the transition, so in the inner clench, in the tenuption, in the, almost like the tension tunnel, then all of those, I would be trying to make a transition. I would be okay, now I think I'm not feeling the tension. But then I would be oh, I'm feeling the exterior. I'm getting that sense of the gut feeling, trying to replace it, trying to get this out, and then trying to replace it. And then the thoughts will a little bit start flowing a little bit more better, more exterior type of thinking, with that feeling flowing more to the exterior and not sucked into the inner clench. And then I would be okay, but now how do I get up and move around without doing, it's like a tension projection, really, without sucking into the tension as I do it, because I so conditioned myself to always be sucked into this inner clenched tension as I do all my bodily movements, as I even try to think. So I'm trying to think with inner tension, and so then I'm I don't even want to think. Thinking hurts. Seriously, because the thinking was stuck into the tension, and instead of thoughts making gut feelings or relaxed gut feelings and stuff, the thoughts were just creating more tension. I try to think hard. Oh, then I'm trying to tense hard into the thinking. Okay, so huge difference in the innate way in which everyone is and everyone is born to be, versus doing the biofeedback and getting entrapped in what I mind manipulated myself into. Huge fucking difference in the feelings of everything. It's a total fucking nightmare. You just become a zombie that can't even talk. Like, you're functioning, like all this functioning and stuff, where my thoughts are flowing with my movements. You can't do that in the inner clench. It's you're just zombied into it. It's a fucking horrible hell. It's the worst thing in the world. And Dr. Nash got me stuck into it. Thanks. Good job. Oh boy. But hey, it's not gonna be forever. So. Yeah, stupid EEG, biofeedback, neurofeedback. So, but what I'm saying is, and that's also, something that is something maybe you could relate to is, it is like, say, take a book. I don't have a book in here. Take a book, right? And like, say you read the words, and as you're looking at the words of the sentence and you're reading it, okay, in the inner clench, you would be just, as you're seeing the word, you're saying the word. Next word, you're saying the word, you're saying the word. And there's not any thought about the rest of the sentence before you're saying it. Okay? So that's what it's like in the inner clench. Because what you're supposed to be doing is, when you're reading a sentence, is, if you're reading it out loud, for example, you would read the word or the few words before you say them. And as you're saying them, you would be reading the next set of words, And then as you're saying those, you're reading the next set of words. As you're saying it, you're reading in your mind the next set of words. So you're prepared and everything. And before you're actually say the words, you've already said them in your mind. Okay? And this is what, like when I was trying to get out of it, I was like, kind of like being like, I gotta start thinking of my actions just before my actions, because as you're thinking, in my innate self, where the tension gets totally disconnected, the tenuption gets totally disconnected, and my senses are back on the exterior with all the thoughts roaming within all that too, all connected within the somatic feel, all my thoughts connected within my somatic feelings again, okay? The innate self. But that's the explanation of the innate self. No one else would be able to explain that, because no one else got so kicked out of that innate self where they actually had to figure out what humans are all doing innately, what animals and all the humans are doing innately, for that to be the way they are. Because you have to figure that out in order to switch from that inner clench into the tenuption, back into that innate self, in which your somatic gut feelings are flowing with your thoughts, and you have and your senses are on the exterior environment, like grounded on the exterior environment with a clear vision of it, and instead of the concentration having this gut feeling on all the exterior environment, instead of it being a concentration on the inner tension, inner like head tension or inner body tension thing. So that total switch, total different type of feelings, so different from each other. But that's, in any case, that's what happened. That's how I was able to turn into a zombie from going from multi-state champion record, was probably if they had betting on stuff like that, I mean, I was one of the bets. Like sometimes you get wrestlers who you're betting on, are they going to win it next year? Oh, he already won it, state championship at 7th grade. We got at 7th and 8th grade. So they predict that I'll win freshman, sophomore, junior, senior. Predict if I'm going to be a 4 or 5 time state champion. So I was predicted to be. All right, that's just that. I was good at all the sports, and I was also voted the most funniest kid in my class. I was super funny, super fast talking and everything. When I got stuck in the inner clench, I can, not stuck in the inner clench, I can talk as fast as I can think, and I can think at 100 miles per hour. So it's all totally under control and everything. The whole body, the whole thoughts, the whole talking, everything is totally under my control. In the inner clench, nothing is under your control. You're fucked. You're stuck in fucking hell. You're a zombie. You can't even talk. You can't think about the movements ahead of your movements and then move them in that sort of way, okay? I mean, it's so fucking real and so fucking bullshit what fucking happened to me. And what I got stuck in for years and years because of doing neurofeedback incorrectly. It's so fucking real and so absolutely unfair. It's amazing. Okay? But like I guess what I was saying, as far as the reading of everything, in which, of course, also too, like in the book, it's almost like you'll be seeing through the words of the book. I mean, you'll read it, you'll be seeing, because all of your images will be the priority of the concentration while you're reading stuff. Your thought images are more of the, in the movie, not stuck in the inner clench, obviously, your innate self. In the movie, it's like you're in the movie, you're in the book, you're within the book. The imaginations are all, the gut feelings are all connected and everything with that, okay? Yeah. So anyways, and also, and like I was saying, like you'll get stuck in the inner clench and you try to read out loud, and it's like you can't even read anymore. Like my genius ass can't even read anymore, basically, because I'm all excessively, you're just focused on each word as you're reading it, and it's just like everything's just fucking hell, and most of all your thoughts are like this tension feeling, and you're like trying to not feel it, but you have no idea how to not feel it, how to escape from it, and all that crap. Transition out of it, get that feeling on that exterior, and then all your thoughts within all that. So like in the tenuption, and I would be like, okay, now I want to get up and do something. I would, before I would, even if I was like feeling like, okay, I'm kind of escaped, but I didn't know how to move. I was like, well, how do I move without, because even all your movements, everything, all your thoughts, all your movements are all this inner tension projection when you get stuck into the neurofeedback, EEG neurofeedback tenuption. So in your innate way, which you totally lose touch of, how did I just do it the way everyone in the world gets to continue to do it? All the animals as well. All the plants too, probably, I guess. And then once you're out of that and you're into that cycle, like the tension has disconnected and you're back into being able to feel everything, then you're able to lock into that. Really, it doesn't take too much time of just experiencing that, try to talk with your hands, too, try to make sure to keep that, as you're talking, try to use your emotions within your voice and everything. Try to make sure you stay grounded and everything in your innate way of functioning, in which you always should have continued as. So, the innate way, let's just call it, versus the tenuption, we'll call it. So, you just stay within that realm, and then it's like, oh my god, this was so easy. I just had to, like, totally get a connection on, then you'll be able to stay within that realm, out of it, stuck out of it, just like you were stuck in it, it was perpetually stuck in it, day and night, for years, day and night, for weeks, months, whatever. It's the same way in which that newfound way of how it all works, the thing that no one could describe, just everyone does it that way, stays perpetually locked in that way. You just keep thinking, and and then the more as you're not even trying to stay perpetually, in the innate way, the more that you even click out of it, and you're not even trying to stay clicked out of it or whatever, the more that your thoughts will just zone out more while your body's relaxed and in the sensations, and just the more it will just naturally start to reconnect with all the exterior realms, the more it'll just innately, naturally start reconnecting properly and everything, and you'll be able to not only get out of it more so, but also be more so zoned out into the innate way that it will be even harder and harder for even just like maybe a little thought or scare of the tenuption, for that to bring you back into getting stuck into it. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, there's a lot of hope. If something, maybe I don't know how what I've explained could happen without doing neurofeedback in the wrong way in which I did it, but I'm sure there are other ways in which you can get interlocked into something like that, and maybe it doesn't even have to be in your face, maybe, or head or whatever. Maybe it might be just within your body or your whole body or something, and you're trying to like fight the feeling of it type of thing, and it ends up being the same type of thing. This is a dissociation in that sort of way. What I am talking about can be the same method for getting you free too. So we'll leave it at that. Have a great day.